City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 262 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. That's right. It's playoff time. We're in the mix. It's on. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Of course not. We drew Carson. I know. Bring it, though. We're ready. It's going to be at home. Home field advantage is everything to us anyway. And, of course, we have good history in the playoffs against them, so I don't feel too worried. Now, we can't really get this show going without introducing our crew for tonight. So, of course, we got Tony in the mix. We got Araceli in the mix. Bam is not with us. He is at work, but you never know what kind of shenanigans he might be up to. So let's go into this. Tony, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty well. I'm just getting ready for all the work that we have to do in the coming days and just freaking getting ready to literally just hopefully destroy Carson. But we have to talk about some maybe little weaknesses that we need to fix and also players.
On both sides. And we'll definitely break that all down. As Tony mentioned, we are very busy. For him and I, basically for us, it's not just the podcast world. It's not just the supporter world. We're kind of in deep when it comes to TIFO, when it comes to all that stuff. When these happen, yeah, every day it's something we have to do. Every night we're probably out working on something related to it. I know I was prepping stuff right up to the lead up to this episode because it's important, right? We're supporters. It's what we do. This part for us is the fun part. That part's kind of the work part, and it all comes together. Now, Araceli, on the other hand, is busy traveling, going crazy, doing MLS Next, handling it, and actually getting a pretty good look at what's going on around the league as well. Araceli, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Just getting everything ready for Thursday, even though, unfortunately, I can't be at the game myself. I'm just making sure everything's in place so I could cover any help you guys may need on the socials when it comes to the big day.
There we go. As you know, Araceli last time did this, and it was absolutely awesome. And so, yes, definitely look forward to what Araceli is going to bring to the table during the game, helping us while Tony is screaming his lungs out on a capo stand, and I'm probably waving an 8x8 flag for a full 90 minutes. That's life, people. All right. So, yes, we got the Galaxy. Carson's coming to town. It's going to get funky. Thursday is going to be one heck of a day. Kickoff technically is 7 p.m., but now I'm hearing it's 7:25. Thank goodness for that, especially with the traffic in town, that is happening. I will say this to all of you guys, though. If you are going to this game, please go early. Fair warning. There's going to be a lot of moving parts, which means you need to come in early to enjoy the festivities. I think I can say that much. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be crazy. Yes, the nerves are going to be there, but we're putting on a show, people. We're all putting on a show, right? Getting there, doing our thing, and of course, honoring the blackout. We always do a blackout when we play these guys, so do that. If you're wearing your road kits, there's something wrong with you. Come in your colors. Wear your black. All right, so beyond that, I will say this. If you're going to resell tickets, people, don't sell it to Galaxy fans. Just keep it internal. Just that other tip, too. All right. Now, before we get into talking about our game and talking about what we have to do to win this game and what they're going to do to try to beat us, let's talk about the rest of the league because it's been a very, very busy and entertaining playoffs. Yes, the favorites are kind of dominating, but the games have been pretty darn good. Araceli, what's going on out there? Like Eastern Conference, who's showing off and who's moving on?
Well, the Eastern Conference, I want to say no surprise, really, but to everyone's surprise, more or less, Cincinnati and Montreal has definitely blown it out the water to advance to the next round. As expected, Philadelphia and even NYCFC have also advanced as well. So now Philadelphia will play Cincinnati, and Montreal will face NYCFC.
Exactly. And then in the West Coast, it's also favorites dominating it again. I know, of course, we'll talk about the Galaxy beating Nashville ever so slightly. But we also got the crazy match with Austin and Real Salt Lake. Please, Araceli, break down what happened there because that was highly, crazy. But it was nuts.
I think saying crazy is a bit of an understatement when it comes to both Texas teams in the West, because I have to give equal credit to both Dallas and Austin for just pulling it out, both in the shootouts, nonetheless. But with Austin and RSL, Derussy managed to keep the game going well into penalties. And RSL, unfortunately, I hate to say choked, but looking at the highlights, especially that second missed penalty, there's some questions there. It was a very good save from Stuver, but nonetheless, Austin succeeded as well as Dallas did with Minnesota. So now Austin and Dallas are going to face off in the next round. So it's looking like California versus Texas for the conference final.
What a shock. The two big boys, right? Gonna find a way to take each other on yet again. Realistically, Austin versus Dallas is gonna be a bit of a war. I know what ours is gonna be, but that's still rivalry. That's hoping that enough Dallas fans will get a chance to attend this match because we know how Austin's so protective with their tickets, that at least we'll have some Dallas fans there, giving their all. That's the hope. Now, I will say this: Austin, for as much as they're celebrating, I think is kind of funny. Salt Lake should have beaten them. They should have lost the game. They got lucky on multiple counts. One, the red card that was completely silly, sliding into a goalkeeper. What are you doing? And a late penalty that was preventable, to be honest. And so Salt Lake kind of threw this one away, and Austin found their way through. I know we were talking about that as being the potential upset before this episode, right? And it almost happened. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good so far. We want to see some upsets in the early rounds that didn't happen. But now, the best teams are in their spots and the rivalries are all in place. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. I do know that Philly is a bit susceptible right now because apparently Bedoya was training separately from the rest of the side. I guess this came out recently that he's not 100%. And we all know that Philly without Bedoya is a different Philly. So that should be interesting. The other thought was with New York City FC facing Montreal. This could be the end of the line for NYCFD. Montreal looks real. They look strong. There's no weakness there with that side. While NYCFC did look good against Miami on the baseball field, but yeah, it should be end of the line. Looking at the games up here, what do you think for upsets, Tony? If you're looking at these, what do you think the big upset's going to be in the next round?
If there's going to be an upset, it has to be Cincinnati. That's the only one that's going to be like the biggest upset. Like the Montreal New York City game is up in the air. Again, more favored to Montreal, but I could see New York winning that. But if there's going to be an upset, it's going to be the Cincinnati making it to the conference finals.
Right. I mean, already taking out Red Bull and now them, it would be pretty amazing if they do. I will say speed and transition that, they've got that. It's just Philly is just so well built. We'll see what happens. It'll be good to watch. For all of us, though, us LAFC fans, I know we're not really going to get a chance to really watch this thing. We're mostly all going to be at the stadium by that time. If you're not by that time, good luck getting in on time for kickoff. So for us, maybe if we're at tailgate, we might get to see a bit of this. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate the games have to be played on the same day because it's going to be a good feature. All right, moving on from there. Looking at the schedule as it goes, whoever advances will advance and play on the 30th. That's right. Both games looks like 30th will be the next round. And we'll get you more details as we go forward. Of course, we got to get through Thursday first. Now, looking on forward, shall we throw it to everybody? I see a lot of comments. You want to throw it up there now and go for it, guys?
Go for it.
All right, guys. I know you guys are a little bit nervous and waiting for this. So I'm going to throw it to you guys first before we get into the big preview. All right. Comment. Who's the first in the mix? Looks like Roberto Espinoza is the first one in the mix. He says, I am actually going to watch this one. Yes, usually he's got to work super early, so he can't stay up late and hang out with us. But Roberto's taking that sacrifice for the sake of the rivalry. Good on you, sir. Good on you. And yes, you were the first. Burke is in the mix. All love to Burke. I'll see you in the North End very soon, sir. Ox is in the mix out of Wichita. We got Danielle Angel. Hurley Burks get the worm. Yes. We'll just put that there. What Daniel's saying, we're with you on that. Jose Bernal in the mix. Hello to you, sir. Mark Lopez is ready to go. Good seeing you on there as well. Hey, look at Jason's on there. Jason Ariano. Yes. One of our old school co-hosts. Says don't have to wake up 3 a.m. tomorrow so I can join you tonight. There it is. Good to see you on here, man. Really good to see you on here, and I hope to see you in that stadium on Thursday as well. David Day is looking for that like button. Follow his instructions, people. Get the like button going. And of course, Bam is at work right now. All love to you, Bam. We'll be watching us from afar on Thursday, of course. But we'll probably, again, have some shenanigans up his sleeve, right? There's always going to be something going on. Ooh, and CBF 15 says, are we finally getting a TIFO? Shh. That is my response, is be there early and be active. I think that's all I can ask of you guys. Right, Tony? Is that a good enough tip?
Just be active no matter where you're at. Just be active. That's all we can say.
Yeah, be there. Don't miss it. And you'll see what we're up to. Bam says, sorry I'm missing this podcast, but just make sure you look after one another on Thursday. Let's Blackout LA. Exactly. And we'll get into some tips and all that as we preview the match. But at the end of the day, definitely look out for each other. The good, the bad. Protect your own and make sure everybody gets home safe. That's the biggest thing. Jason says, hats off to Cincy from 3 years in a row with a wooden spoon to winning a playoff match on the road. Yeah, good on them. Good on them. Ooh, Jose Bernal says, question, are we going straight to penalty shootout if a tie game or extra time then penalties? It's the full extra time. It's the full measure. Both Austin had to deal with this and Dallas. So that's going to be a lot of tired legs in their game because they had to go through the full thing to finally get to penalties, which included a Panenka for Dallas, which was absolutely impressive. But yes, you have to go through the battle. Tough, not easy. That is for sure. But honestly, it's a 1-game playoff. You better play it through. The last thing you want to do is just have a team try to wait it out for the 90 and get to penalties. Yeah, I've never liked when they go straight to penalties. Put in the work. Definitely put in the work. Louis V in the mix. Good seeing you on there, man. Burke says, hopefully trying to find a North End ticket. They've been hard to come by. I know the prices are crazy, like $400 range I've been hearing. It's been pretty rough and hard to find. Even for season ticket holders, they've had a hard time locating tickets. When they already have season tickets, it's been really weird. So I'm hoping that by tomorrow, those who can settle things can get them settled and we see you guys in there. Burke, we're praying you get one, man, for sure. Ooh, Ox has got this comment. Says, I just want to beat Carson bad. I want us in the finals. I want us all the way to get our watch our guys in a final and at home and to win it all. You know, for me, straightforward. Just get through Thursday. Get the win, move on. We'll go from there. This is a quick hit, 3 quick games. We got to get through the big one. And this is, to me, it feels like the final, right? Because of who we're playing, but you got to get there. You just got to get there. All right. Daniel says 90 plus on Thursday for everybody. This is the tip right here, Tony. Explain what 90 plus means.
It means there is a little break where you can breathe while we transition towards songs, but you go hard all 90 minutes from the start of the whistle, even before the whistle, like doing our usual, like, scarves up, the ollie, everything, even the national anthem. Do you go a whole 90 and then even go in the extra time, no matter how tired you are, you just keep going. Just make sure you have enough water because you can dehydrate from yelling, screaming, jumping around. But you just go full hard 90, full hard extra time, and if when we win, full time celebrating after the end.
If you still have your voice at the end of this game, you didn't put quite enough into this. Every time we play these guys, my voice is shot the next day. At work, they're looking at me funny, like, what's wrong with you? Don't ask. And it's whispers because you have to give your all against this team. This is the one. Like, this is the one we play for. This is the rivalry. If you're not up for it, I feel bad for you. There's something missing in your life. Like you need to have it for this one. This is the one you gotta have. The other thing I'll say this is cell phones, do not bring them out. Do not, and colors, wear our club. Quick hit on that. And if someone gives you a flag, wave it. Don't let it get beer soaked on the floor, wave it. If we have beer showers, it's a good thing, not a bad thing. If you get drenched in beer, guess what? It means we're probably winning this thing. So roll with it, people, and have a good time and give everything you got for the black and gold. All right, I see Jose on here says, let's effing go. There we are. David Day, beer hydrates you the best. I'm on board with that one. Jose Bernal, I'll be out of voice by halftime. In truth, guys, by the 20th minute, ask Tony, I crack my voice. About 20 a minute mark, it cracks, and I just keep singing, and I don't know what I'm shredding, but I'm doing something. And it's just how it has to be. It's worth it. It's worth it. Ox, I'm reminding everybody, wear your black kits, wear a black t-shirt, but wear black. On the days like this, the good guys wear black. That's just how it is. All right, guys. Thank you for your comments. Tony, you have some community stuff I think you just posted up that you wanted to throw out there and talk about tailgates and all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have tailgates on the at the day of the game, and of course, FanFest is also happening as well. So there is something going on Thursday, as well as tomorrow. They are doing some blackout ventures at Shannon's. What were the other ones, Araceli? You were naming them off earlier in the day. I don't have the list in front of me because it's just
the ones that LAFC promoted and down in Anaheim, Walnut, and there was another one.
Yeah, so it's all over the city. Check on social media. Without a doubt, check on social media, especially the Instagram page for LAFC. They've been very active with all these blackout mixers, I guess you could call them, in bars all over Southern California for the next 3 days. So,
and I'll also be sure to post them on our socials.
Without a doubt. Thank you, Araceli, for doing that. So you guys can get a chance to hang out with a few of your friends in the lead up to this. I know some of us are going to be a little bit busy the next few days with projects, but we'll still find a way to be together. That's for sure. Any other news, Tony, for community? Are we ready to get into some music?
Of course, always the most Fasciani, I always did it. The Mo futsal court is still going on, so donate as much as you can. We'll just get this thing built. We would have kind of drawn the shirt for Murillo. That's for us. So we're doing the signed Murillo training kit, but we don't have Bam to help us out with today, so we'll extend it another week for everybody else. I know it's also money's kind of tight as well because everyone's trying to get a ticket, so we'll extend it another week just so everyone has a chance to it. So again, just donate on the GoFundMe page. Just take a picture. We don't have a link that says Heart of LAFC. It just donate onto it and take a screenshot, send it to me, send it to Bam, send it to Araceli, and then we'll get you into the drawing. I already got one today, and it was a very good one. So thank you, Daniel, for that. So I'll shout you out for that. And then also, of course, if there's still scarves available, buy those. I believe they'll probably be at the tailgates as well. Again, I have bought 4 of those since they've been coming out. And I've given them out to other people because it's one of those scarves that you need to have. It's a really nice one. There's only 500 of them. So as soon as they're gone, they are gone.
Very limited edition. Very well made. Shout out to Lucky's putting in all the work to get that, all the work, to get that off the ground. And everyone else who's been volunteering at all of the events to get these sold. Even, get them dropped off at pubs and events. It's really impressive from everyone involved in this. But just keep donating. If you haven't bought one, please do. Let's hope that by MLS Cup, we're talking about a sellout for these guys. And a fine celebration if we do that. I'm all down with that.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm going to throw it to you, Tony, because you made the choice today for the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. So I'm going to give you the floor. What you got for us today?
I went with I was in a mood and decided to go back to when I was a kid. Mind you, I grew up in suburbia in Thousand Oaks, so it's not like I grew up in like the hard streets of LA, but ended up picking Tupac Shakur's The Don Community, The 7 Day Theory. It is his final album that he was able to release after his death. And there are two songs that are very dear and near to me. One is Hail Mary. It's a very good walkout song, also a prayer that's a really kind of close to my heart as well. And then the other one is, of course, To Live and Die in LA, because literally it represents us and literally how it is to live and die in LA. It's like, as he says in the, it won't be LA without the Browns, blacks, or anybody, and just culture wise. So it's just, that's the why I chose that one, especially since we have to black out LA, and this is how we're gonna live or die this game. Not literally.
It's
but.
our unity, right? It's our unity in song. It's our unity in everything we put into this match. It's the unity of our squad and getting it put together. It's our coach, right? Getting the lineup out there and getting his guys up for it, which you know he will. You saw the press conferences today and all the interviews. They're ready. They're ready. We're ready. Um, I think it's a nervous anticipation, but we know that once the whistle blows, it's on. And LAFC is who they are, and we got a supporter shield for a reason. And so there's no reason to fear Carson. We are who we are. We are the top seed. We are hosting at home. We win at home, and it is that simple. So, yes, good stuff, man. I love the choice. On to the preview. I know we're there, guys. We're talking about it. LAC versus Carson Galaxy. No waste of time. Again, we play this on Thursday. 7 p.m. is technical, but we know 7:25 it's going to kick off. In terms of our all-time record with them, it ain't so great. We have 4 wins, 5 losses, 5 draws and 7 losses. In the lead up to that, of course, we've had a couple bad results, but recently our last one was a win. I will say fairly on this one, even though we did win, I can't really compare those squads in that game to what we all have now. It is a different animal, and we'll explain that. But we do have the last win, and we do have the only win against them in MLS Cup playoffs. And Tony, would you like to take us down memory lane how that game went?
It was the most beautiful game. We ended up beating them 5-3. And of course, the most memorable picture of that game is Lawton with his head down, walking in front of the scoreboard as his final game in the MLS. And as he calls himself, I am like, MLS is nothing without me. We send him packing. We send Carson packing. And it was just beautiful. If you were there, you understood. It was our first win against Carson, but it was just to be to knock him out of the playoffs was even just that much sweeter.
All the goals, all the controversy, Miller not being able to do what he needed to do to get the job done, but at the same time, Dio never gave up, Rossi never gave up, this squad never gave up. Amazingly enough, I guess there's 2 guys that played the game. That's all that's left from that last one. Yeah, 3. It's 3.
Segura, Blessing, and Vela.
It's amazing that there's been so much turnover for both sides that we're here now. That wasn't that long ago, but we're both stronger, right? Honestly, both sides are stronger than what we had in that game. So this is going to be one heck of a lead up, but the memory is there. They can never take that away from us, right? And now we need to write a new chapter and move forward. Now, yes, they do beat us in their house, but that's that. And yes, they took us out of the Open Cup. We get that. But it's the playoffs, man. It is how it goes. Now, looking at run of form, I will say this. I know we've clowned on these guys for a long time, talked about how bad they were not going into the playoffs. Last week, getting their first home playoff game after 6 years and not selling out the place. A lot of reasons to make fun of them, but I will give you the fair warning here. They are in form. They are a much better team than we're used to seeing, right? This is the strongest team they've had in years. and they're different than the team they had in July. That is the truth of it. We're kind of facing each other, not sure how it's going to be because there's so many changes on both sides. Now, going into this, of course, they beat Nashville 1-0 at home. The game, I mean, wasn't the most exciting thing in the world. There were some chances for Nashville. They couldn't get it across the line. A little bit of controversy, but at the end of the day, the Galaxy did earn their way through. They got a simple win. Now, before that, they've been kind of streaking. You know, they beat Houston, they tied Salt Lake, beat the Earthquakes, beat the Rapids, then got trounced all the way back in September 14th by the Whitecaps. Yes, they haven't played the strongest teams in the lead up to this, but they're still winning. They're still getting results, and their players are shining. The big reasons for that, Araceli, you want to mention the last 4 big signings they had that have really kind of turned things around for them?
Actually, let's have Tony talk about that if we can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I got them listed there, man. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, I have something else pulled up, so
Oh, no, you're
I'll
fine.
make a
You're
note of it
fine.
later.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So there are 4. The one that we actually need just to talk about, because the other 4 do stuff, but the one that's the most, I guess, surprising because of where he came from and at such a young age coming to the MLS from Barcelona is Puig, and he has been a dominant midfielder. Like I said, coming out of Barcelona's academy, it's one of the best, as much as I hate to say that because of it produces stars, you know, Messi, Piqué, freaking
You name
Fabregas,
it,
you
man.
name it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
even some stars who've like failed still come out of that, but he's been like dominating. Like he's like they went from 1.5 game expected goals per game to 1.73 since he's
Yes.
debuted, and he's honestly 3 goals, 5 assists in the 10 games that he's joined. He is supposedly the best signing of this year, which again, stats wise, yes, but I will kind of fight for that, saying that he's not. So he is the one to watch out for. Like again, he can help with the skillfulness of him. He can help Chicharito get into his place, so Chicharito doesn't have to, you know, put it on his back, and he can play his way of being the poacher that he is.
Yeah, the thing is, before he came in, they were very much just a 500 side. They needed this change, and he's been a welcome change, like you said. Very young player. A little bit surprising that he came this way. I do know that it came at a price for the Galaxy. I believe if they sell him on, 50% goes back to Barcelona. I mean, that's really high up there. Yeah, right. You're not getting anything for this guy once you sell him on. Well, you will, but still losing a lot. And he, you know, pay rate. I mean, you saw the league averages coming out for pay. They put a lot into this kid, but he's also paid off. I think they were talking about goals added per 96, the only guy that pretty much ended better than him was Denny Bouanga. But of course, our guy doesn't have a lot of goals and assists, but he's added to it and created threats, and that's what Puig does, or Puig. Sorry, I guess in LA we're used to saying Puig. Carson, Puig. I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. The numbers are there, and the numbers support that he's really turned things around and provided opportunities to everyone around him. To me, though, there's a couple other players that give him the chance to play that way that are really turning things around. Gaston Brugman, to me, has been a critical component, bringing him into the mix. Marky Delgado's there too now, right? They've had him all year, but Brugman coming in kind of late. I believe he came in July 7th. And since coming in, he's got 14 matches in, about an 88% pass rate. Came by Real Oviedo by way of Parma. Already has 2 goals outside of the box, so he's a threat from distance. So if we're not careful, he can burn us. But he's about a 50-50 on tackles, and high on the interceptions. So what he does is clean up the messes. Where Puig kind of doesn't get into the defensive side of things, There's where Brugman comes in, right? Controlling tempo, creating issues for us, shutting down traffic when necessary. And with Delgado out there too, yeah, it's trouble. It's they really do shut down lanes, and it gives the others freedom to attack. And so it's a very different mindset and a different approach than what we're used to seeing from this side that we've had this long rivalry with. The game is going to look different this week. It will. They will try to take the game to us, and like just looking for the counters and looking for stuff on the outside to cross in. They're going to bring it to us. We're going to have to get used to that. And they have the guys in the mid now that can do that. The other guy I'd also mention, of course, would be Martin Caceres, 35-year-old out of Uruguay. He's only got about 6 matches in with them so far. He's already got an assist. But against Nashville, he was a 96% pass rate. Right. 3 for 3 on long balls. And historically we've had some issues with long balls, right? Especially up the middle. We have to respect these guys. They've built something in their core that's working for them right now. And so for us, we have to take a very different angle with this team. A lot more respect needs to be given here. A tighter game needs to be given into this. And we know how we play, right? We'll give it back to them, but they are a lot more dangerous than they used to be. I could also mention Koulibaly as well. Yes, he's been there for a while. We've seen ups and downs with him. We've seen him mess up games. We've seen him hurt us too. Against Nashville, the same thing. High percentage rate, flying all over the place. Tackles were good. Their center backs were dialed in for this. If they're dialed in like that for us, we're going to have to really battle to get a result out of this one. But if we can find a way around these guys, catch them outside, because they do cheat a bit up, we'll be in a good shape. But that's kind of where it's different for them. That core, that middle, it's solid on top of the guys we've talked about, and on top of the stars they have. It is a much better organized side that we're going to have to deal with. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a grind. Our midfield is going to be challenged in this game. And we got to be ready for it. Tony, you want to add any other good, bad, and uglies into this mix as we get further into their side?
Again, it's just going to be a war. Like you said, that's the only thing you can add is just to repeat what you said. It's going to be a war. It doesn't even matter if they even had all these stars and players that they picked up. When we face them again, rivalry games derby games are a different monster. It's a different feel. You feel it in the stands. You feel it on the field. So again, we can put up all the stats, and we will give you all the stats to analyze it, but at the end of the day, that gets thrown out the window.
Yep. It's going to be who puts in the work in this game, who covers, who presses when they need to press, right? If we have guys out there lollygagging it up top, not putting high pressure on anybody, we're going to get destroyed, especially by these center backs. If you give them too much time on the ball, we're in trouble. That is something we're going to have to pay attention to in this game. Now, of course, looking at their goal scorers, who's leading this thing? Of course, it is Javier Hernandez, right? It's Chicharito. He's got 17 goals already this year, followed by Dejan Jovic, who's their super sub at 10 goals. After that, it drops off to Douglas Costa with 4, Gran Sur with 3, Efren Alvarez with 3, and then Brugman sitting there with 3. Again, surprising, right? But that's where it's at. In terms of the assist, Araujo has the most so far with 6, Gran Sur with 5. Again, Puig with only 5 games in, right? We already see his production. So yes, it comes from all over the place. There is better distribution with them, which also you can kind of see in the stats. Now, we tend to be a possession side, but we did sacrifice that a bit this season. Strategically, we've given that up at times to get our counter working. Guess what? The Galaxy, they dig possession with this new setup. They're about a 56% in terms of possession throughout this league. So yes, they are going to be trying to hold the ball against us, but y'all know how good we are playing counters, right? Transition game, we can catch them if that's what it's going to be. Again, I think we're going to see a different kind of animal in this game. It's going to be a tougher one, yes, but this could be, it's going to be highly entertaining. We know that, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Any other stats out there, Tony, that you see that stand out to you?
Nothing really. Again, we're in at this point, it's more of like at knockout games, we're 1-1. You know what I mean? We've knocked them out. They knocked us out. So whoever wins this leads in the knockout games. The only one
This
is
feels like the crossroads, right? I mean, this is the crossroads match. Does feel that way. Both teams as strong as they've ever been over the last few years. They're both strong. I'd argue to say they might be the strongest ones in the West at the moment. If you watched how the other teams have been playing, these guys are the ones. So it's going to be tough. We know about the wins. We know about the history. We know about the lame nickname that's been given that we'd hope to change at one point. Yeah, I mean, this is where we're at. We do know that Vela realistically steps up in this game, right? 10 goals already against this team. So we know where he comes from on this. And now that he has Bouanga out there, we expect that. Now that he has Arango doing what he's doing, yeah, it can get a bit smarter. Now, looking at who's in and who's out of lineup, Tony, who's missing from the Galaxy this week?
It is Perez is out with a knee injury, and Villafana is out with a ligament injury. I can't say the one because I was just like, but he's out with a ligament
I think
injury.
it's ACL.
Yeah,
he's been out pretty much all year. They haven't really been a factor. It wouldn't really affect the lineup that we have going now. The lineup that they did against Nashville, and we'll talk a brief bit about Nashville and what their approach was to this game, is going to be similar to what they do with us. Okay, they play a 4-3-3. It's a modified 4-3-3. The midfield gets a little funky, but Bond should be expected to be in goal. Koulibaly and Caceres should be your center backs. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be that way. Araujo should be your right back. Edwards, the snake, will be the left back. That's almost for certain. Brugman, Puig, Delgado will be handling that midfield, and you will see them shift around, move around. It's nothing completely locked in, except Brugman will probably hang a little farther back, and Delgado will as well at times to give Puig the chance to do his dirty work. So that's what you should expect. Up top, of course, Hernandez is your target man. Costa out on the right wing. Ranseur out on the left. This should be your typical lineup. I don't think there's going to be any surprise changes to this. And you're like, well, who else could feature? Well, Derek Williams is a choice at some point in this game, right? Dejan Joveljic will definitely be a sub at one point late. That's what he does. He is their super sub. Kevin Cabral will probably get some minutes. I heard about the fans not being so great with him, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Not sad for us, but just sad for the culture of football to be like that towards one of your players. But it is what it is. And then, of course, Efrain Alvarez should be expected to play. The only guys not used in the last game that are still in the lineup are Chase Gasper, Victor Vasquez, who we are very familiar with, Kevin Leardam, who can definitely defend out on the outside as well. Jonathan Klinsmann, backup goalkeeper, you're not going to hear from him. And then Sasha Kleshchin, the old Chivas USA leader, doing what he does for them, coming in more of a defensive role. I'm pretty sure, though, the way they approach the game these days is very different than when Sasha was a little more effective for them because of, again, how they're approaching the game now. So should be interesting to see what they do, which puts us kind of on our situation. How are we going to handle this game? It brings it back to us. Araceli, you're looking at these lineups. You're looking where we're at. We're not missing anybody, are we?
As far as I know, no, we are not missing anyone. Of course, unfortunately, that could change in the next couple of days here. But so far, so good. We look like we're in a good position.
Excellent. So we are ready to go. We've been resting for a while here. It is a long time off. I will say that. I think it's a disadvantage for us that we had to wait this long, but it did allow our guys to heal up that needed to heal up, right? Guys that had minor knocks, anything like that, they do get the chance to get ready for this. I will say, though, it is a cautionary tale, right? You got to get warm into this game. They've already got a game near, so it will be a little bit of a challenge there. Tony, are you concerned about the long layoff?
I'm not concerned about the long layoff. I'm just more concerned of how we start off. That's the whole thing. From all the interviews I've heard and sound clips that I've heard from coaches and players, they know it's not just another game. They know what's at stake. They know it's not just a playoff game. It's also the derby game. So honestly, I want them to come out. If you guys watch, I just watched the Redeem Team documentary, And Kobe, when he faced against Spain, again, Paul Gasol was his brother. The first thing he did was check Gasol right on the side, being like, "This is the game. This is how I want." And I kind of want that in a way that we don't get a yellow card, but I want that kind of check of like, you're not going to get anything easy. You're going to have to fight for everything, and we're going in hard at you guys.
As it should be, right? A statement needs to be made early in this game. Tone needs to be set. We know that, and it will be. We have the veterans this time around. That will affect that. It ain't a bunch of kids out there. We're not a youthful side anymore. These are veterans, some experience, some edge. So our team will look a little bit different than we've seen in past. Now, with the lineup, with the healthy players, of course, we know Max is going to be in goal. There's no surprises there. The center back pairing, though, I think is debatable. Araceli, if you're looking at that center back pairing, who are you going with this week?
I see Chiellini and Segura still continuing.
I'm with you on that. I think the veteran presence wins the day, right? Who makes less errors? Who's less prone to errors? It's those two, and it's going to be a tough one. Who can shut games down a little bit better? It's them. We love what Murillo can do in terms of passing, right? In times where he can break people out, but it's risks, right? It's not taking risks in a playoff game at times. So we're there. Right back situation. We have Escobar versus Hollingshead, right? Sounds like they're both healthy. They're both ready to go. Tony, given that, who do you think's getting the start on the right side?
I want to say Hollingshead's going to get the start just because of the experience, but again, the reason we brought Escobar also, as Atlanta can tell you, he's a playoff player, so I could see him getting the start more than Hollingshead. I think it's going to be Hollingshead, but I think it might be Escobar.
Interesting. Araceli?
I can see Hollingshead getting the start and Escobar being subbed in later in the game, depending on how the match goes.
I'm in that camp as well. I think Hollingshead is trusted because of the versatility, because he does finish even from that position and provides a little bit of a threat that keeps them honest when they want to press us back, knowing that he can hurt them if they give too much into it. Here's where I get a little bit concerned. The left back situation, right? Palacios has been up and down this year, mostly up towards the end, but we know he's had some history with Carson that hasn't been so positive. Uh, Looking at that, do either of you really think that he's not going to get the start? I think he's in, but I'll go to you, Tony, first.
No, he's 100% in. There's no shot. Dolo has so much trust in him. That's its project, and so I don't see him. Given that he gets injured, is the only thing is he's not playing.
Right, and he should be expected full 90, of course. Araceli, you're kind of in agreement on this as well, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. I definitely see Cheeky getting the start, not only because of the experience, but more or less, it's really the same lineup that we've been using all year, just kind of tweaking it every now and then. Of course, we saw Dolo do his little experiments once or twice, but about 90% of the time, it's been roughly the same players.
And when talking about predictability, we can move right in the midfield and say this is going to probably be as predictable as you can get, right? As standard as you can get. Ilie deep, right? Cifuentes and Acosta handling in the mid. I can't see it any old way. This is what we do. These are the guys we trust. This is where we're running with. It's going to be that. And so your battle will now be those three versus the men I just mentioned, right? Puig, Delgado, right? This is going to be tough. They're going to be in a battle. We've got national players against each other. We've got skillful players. We've got guys that can grind and fight. It's going to be a chess match, that's for sure. I don't see any other shock there outside of some random injury, which there's no suggestion of that. So it should be there, which now brings us to the top line. I think two of the three guaranteed, right? Arango, Vela. No question. Automatic. Has to be. Who's your left wing for this match? And I will go to you first, Tony. Who's your left wing?
Bouanga. As much as I like Opoku, I feel like he should be a super sub for this game. Bouanga's been putting in the work. He's putting in work on and off the ball, making the runs and everything. So Opoku comes on probably in the second half. Comes on in the second half and like puts in energy and maybe gets a goal as well. But Bouanga starting.
Getting the start. Araceli, are you in the same camp?
I am in the same camp, but I also still have my reservations on it given the last match against Nashville. Obviously, we can't expect to make a excuse me, we can't expect Boanga to make every shot on target, but I'm still looking at those past scores and I do see him getting the start, but I won't be surprised if Mahala starts over him.
Interesting. Interesting. I think the one thing is the creation of chances is what's his saving grace, right? He just creates problems for everyone around him, and chaos. And looking at who they're going to be using on that right side and how they like to spring their right back forward all the time. This is a thing for the Galaxy. They are going to have trouble in transition on Boanga's side. They are going to struggle with him. It's built for it at this point. That they're not used to that level. And with the three that we have, it's going to be a challenge, and he would be the best guy for the role. The other two, I mean, how much do you have to introduce? We know what they do. We know what they bring to the game. We know how ready they are. I had a Night of the Supporter Shield win. I had a funny conversation with Chicho. Just it was random, but it happened. And I asked him how he felt about it, potentially playing them, and the reaction he got, which I thought was absolutely amazing, is he basically said, I wish we could play them in Carson. That's how bad I want to play him. Like, that's how ready he is. He has revenge on his mind. There's no doubt. He's ready for the match. And so the hunger is there. The head is in the right place. You saw Vela's comments as well. Their heads are in the right place. They're not lost in it. They don't think they're going to walk over these guys. They know they got work to do. And so I look at it and we just know what we have to do. I think the bigger question, and I'll throw it to you guys as well, is the issue of the benches for both sides. And that could be the big difference maker in this is who do you bring in as you make your adjustments as this game moves along, and which side is more capable with their substitutions to really impacting things and taking the game. I think that might be your bigger story than anything else. And Tony, to you, who's your obvious choices that we're going to see in the second half? Who's going to make that impact to you? That's going to be that guy, that moment. Who's going to create that moment for you?
Opoku is one of them, 100%. He's coming in. There's no like guessing about that one. Midfield, if anything, it's Blessing and Mendez. Those are the two. In defense, the only one I could see coming in is Mori, and
Escobar, right?
Yeah, of course too, and Escobar. Again, there's like we have a deeper bench than they do. What they have on the field is what they have is pretty much their strength. We could have some surprises off their benches, but if you're going to compare benches to bench, it's like we have the stronger, we have the power, we have the youthfulness as well, and experience.
Yeah. Again, our guys make a change, and is it really a hard drop off? Is it really that hard of a drop off? It's not. I mean, the other guy we haven't even mentioned yet is Teo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still kind of new with us, but his skill set and what he can bring into a grinding type of match, this could be the guy that steals this one. This is the playoffs, and you're not so familiar guys end up being the guys that score goals in these types of games. He's one of these guys with a lot of experience. He could be that guy. And of course, there's Bale. Like we're talking about Bale like he's some kind of, we're not even talking about him, right? But it's still Gareth freaking Bale. At the end of the day, if we need something magical at the end of the game, and he's coming in where the other guy's a little tired, yes, we know defensively he ain't there, right? And covering space, we know. But in an emergency situation where you got to get something out of somebody, he's got a history of doing these things, especially when you write him off. That's when he gets you the worst. Am I wrong in that, Tony?
No, you're not.
it's there. It's the intangibles, as they say. Araceli, you're looking at the substitutions. You're looking at the potential. Who do you think that game changer is going to be for this match?
I definitely agree that Mahala has a chance to be that game changer. Even Cifuentes, if he doesn't have the starting position.
Oh yeah, Sifu has a great chance to put on a show for the whole world to see on Thursday. We know his value. We know his potential. We know there are eyes on him at this point. This could be his moment. That is for sure. Cementing things, getting us to the next round. Don't put it past him. That is for certain. Good stuff, guys. All right. Anything else want to add in? We're going to throw some comments in there and see where you guys are at. Ask us some questions. Stump us as best you can. It is on. I want you guys to join this conversation. Tell us what you think about it. If you're nervous, let us know. If you're confident, let us know. It's time. All right, let me get into it. We've got David Day looking for watch parties. It's been a bit light, but we'll give you an update as we get them. That's for sure. Right, Tony? Right, Tony?
The only watch party that I know of is at Saturday's football. If you can make it out there and you can get on whatever list that you need to get for them, that's the only one they said they're going to do for sure. I would just look at La Chuperia, most likely too, near the bar is going to be one there. I honestly wish they would do a watch party at Pepsi Plaza. They have that big screen right there. It'd be perfect. You know what I mean?
Have the garden open, right? The beer garden open and let it go. I mean,
Reopen the
World Cups
fields.
do
They're
it this.
sitting
Yeah,
there.
I was going to say that too. I was going to say reopen the fields right there. It's like perfect as well.
Missed opportunities, right?
Mhm.
Huge missed opportunity. Yeah. David, we'll keep looking for you. It looks like Jose Bernal's got a nominee. He says Taco Sway is having one, so definitely look into that. David Day, tips on sneaking into the stadium besides working for security. Yeah,
Good luck.
it's gonna be tight. That's for sure. I love it, man. I good luck on the ticket hunt, dude. I hope you make it. Jose Bernal, San Fernando Valley. There it is. Um, David Angel says to live and die in LA is definitely on my LAFC playlist. Love it. Small says there's a watch party at the Garden Walk, like Anaheim. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, we'll look into that one. He says it was beautiful at the last playoff game.
So beautiful.
So if Smalls is out there, go pay him a visit, guys. He'll need all the support he can get if it's in the OC. That's for sure. Jason says, any else worry about having a bye since MLS is given the top seed first round bye? Teams are 1-3, but the one win is an LAFC win over. Yeah, I mean, it's not good news, except I know for our guys, they did need to get a little bit healthy. They needed the rest, so it was a good thing for us to recharge. So for us, it might be the good thing. Daniel Angel, you forgot to mention the best product of La Masia, Ilie. I would agree. Ilie is the man. Bleeds through and through. Another guy who, if you get into a conversation with him, you'll get lost for 40 minutes and he's down for it. So always an open book when it comes to the football. So yeah, definitely the brains in the midfield. He is absolutely brilliant. Ox Zavaleta, yeah. All right. And he says, agree with you, Joseph. We need to finish the play and shoot when we have the chance. Keeping it simple. Hey, we have Stephen Dill says, aloha, Joseph and squad. Big mahalo, Nui Loa, for your show this season. Thank you, man. Love the breakdown of games and club news. Gets isolating in Hawaii, and Heart of LAFC podcast makes it seem like I'm right in LA. Dude, thank you for that. It's this crew around me, man, that keeps me honest, that keeps me going on this thing. Tony putting in the extra work. Same with Araceli, same with Bam, the late hours on these guys. I am in good company, honored company, that is for certain. And keeping it real, with the culture and everything. So thank you, Steven, for that. And again, we hope we do you right even in this episode. Let's see, we have Journals of Awakening, giving a hello. Ox says, this game, I want to see Giorgio knock some fools down. I'm going to say this game, I don't want to see him knock people down because, the referees in this league and the way they love the Galaxy. That's the one kid in the pool that's been wearing floaties since 96. So I don't need to give him any more reason to get a result. Keep the floaties far away from me. Ox says, no volleyball this time. Let's go for an all-out UFC mode. Within reason. Daniel says Murilini. That's funny. He's going for the Murillo Chiellini hard-nosed approach to defending. Old school style. Old skill. Q Cardi, hey, there he is. What's up, peeps? Excited for Thursday. Excited for the chance to progress in the playoffs. Excited for the Bale and Teo show. I'm excited to see Q Cardi waving a flag for 90 minutes. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You have no choice, sir. You're in the North End, and I am drafting you. It is now official, and it is now on the podcast, so you can't get away. I will see you in the North End, sir, with your flag ready to go. Tony's dying right now because he knows it's true. All love to you, man. All love to you. Again, North End faithful, showing it yet again. Daniel Angel, besides Vela, who do you look to step up? I mean, Chicho is going to step up. Bwanga, I love this guy. You know how mad he was after Nashville. You saw how pissed he was after that. He only gets better. Every time I watch the guy, he never gets frustrated. He just works harder to the point of exploding. Guess what? This sounds like a great day for Denny Bwanga to explode and take us to the next round. He will step up. I am certain he will step up. It's his moment. He's ready for it. Dave Gomez, will Bale be the super sub and score? I'm not predicting it, but it seems like it's a probable situation, right? It seems probable. It's knockout rounds. We know what he's done in his history. Araceli, what do you think? Good chance for a super sub opportunity there for Bale?
Personally, I like to see it, but that's only because I am a Real Madrid fan. So to me, it would make my night to see him do the winning goal or something, but I don't know.
He's got to do it. He's got to function, right? He's got to get the job done. Nice. Oh, Ox. Look at this one. It says nervous. No. Worried. No. Not until I see the performance. If they put it all out there, I know they'll get the job done. I'll throw it. The only thing that makes me nervous is the officiating. If they call it straight, we win. Straight up. If they call it level, we win this game. If they don't, we know how this league can be. It's the biggest thing that holds this league back. It's the officiating. So if they're up for the task, if we get the right guy assigned to us, which I didn't see the assignment, it didn't pop up. Maybe you guys will see it as I'm talking right now. We'll be fine. But if it comes out where we're playing against 12, well, that isn't jacked up situation that could affect the entire game, which our loss over there in league this year was heavily affected by poor decision making by the referee, right? The VAR fiasco. So we know how this goes. We're not strangers to it. Again, we're playing the club. We're in the floaties. It is the way it is. Q Cardi, join late, but Sifu Acosta Sanchez would be the go-to starting midfield, or would you be surprised if Blessing starts over someone? Thing is, Blessing does step up against these guys, but I think super sub Blessing has always been the most entertaining thing against Carson. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, super sub Blessing is honestly the best. I could see him starting again. Dolo does say like Blessing is his best opportunity to win, but in this game, I think with who we're facing, I would go, Sifu Acosta Sanchez.
There it is. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Ooh, check it out. We have an alumni here. Benjamin Verhan. Yes. We love you, Ben. Come back, Ben. Amazing writer for the Striker magazine. Always welcome on the show as a member of our family. We miss you, Ben. He says, if it goes to penalties, who are your 5 takers? I'll just know this from experience. The ones who want it most. Always the ones who want it most. Now, I'll go to Araceli, who do you think the 5 would be for the first 5? I'll go to you on this one.
This might be a hot take, but not Chicho. Definitely not Chicho. I respect him, but the last time he did a penalty, he tried to Pineka. No.
Right. He's got as much chance at shaking one as like Chicharito, right? Uh, keep them away. Keep them away. So what do you think? What's your 5? What do you think?
That's kind of a tough call to make, but I definitely see maybe Bawanga, possibly Vela, all depending on how long he lost in this match, because that was kind of a question I wanted to ask earlier to you guys. Do you think Vela can go the full 90?
I think he'll try. I think he'll try. I think he'll do that effort because it's them. And he is in shape right now. He's in real good shape right now. I think he goes the full 90 no matter what. He wants it. He wants to be out there for the moment. I don't think he'd handle it well being taken off in this stage. Tony?
He'll make it full 90, 100%. Against Carson, he pushes himself harder than anything else. He hates a strong word, but he hates Carson. Like,
yep,
it's the best way to say it.
There it
There's
is.
definitely history there.
I'm going to throw up my 5 hot take penalty takers. You'll be like, what? Vela's going. Keeling is going. Ilie is going. Acosta's going. Those are 4 right there. The next one, it's going to be Bale, Bawanga, or Teo, depending on who's on the field at the moment and who's healthy enough to do it. I think that's where we're at on this one. Experience takes it. Right? These guys don't feel pressure, the ones I mentioned. They don't. Would it scare me if I see Sifu and Palacios? I'm having Club America flashbacks, right? We had some things related to that game. Go with experience. That's what I think we'll see. Yeah. So there it is, Ben. I gave you my 5. I gave it up. So there you are. Q Cardi, say less. There it is. See? In the mix, waving the flag for 90 plus. I'll help you out, man. We'll all help you out. It's community. You know how that goes. Dave Gomez says the match is on my birthday. All I want is a win. See that, LAFC? Honor the birthday. Let's get the win. Ox says true on that, Joseph. But where are guys have rely on? Oh, that's a hard one to read. Odds are stacked against us when they have the extra man. The odds are stacked against us, but if you can throttle them, right? Finish your chances. Put up 25 shots like you did against Nashville. It's not gonna matter what they do. Yes. Let's see. Ooh, what if Opoku's on the field? Will he be a penalty taker? This is from Ox. Tony, what do you think?
I say so.
I think so too.
He rises to the occasion. He's going to rise to that occasion. I don't see him not.
Always. This is his way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he doesn't have fear. And that's the beauty of youth sometimes, is you don't have the fear. He does not have any fear. He goes into it. So you could see that. That's for sure. I'd rather just win this thing in 90 and not have to deal with getting tired, as probably the Texas tilt will probably go to overtime because they just have that in them. So might as well have that advantage of not having to do it. Q Cardi says, I think Denny is going to break the Carson defense apart with Chicho being free in the middle for a pass. I am with you 100% on this one. I think that is their weak side. But honestly, if I'm going to talk about weaknesses in Carson, it's both outside backs. It's both. I'm sorry, but Raheem? Seriously? Are we going to call him a strength? Vela's going to have a field day with him. No way. No way. That's where we can get these guys. Funny, last time they got us on the outsides, right? Dominating our outside backs. Now it's our chance because of who we now have. It's going to be a real interesting day. That's for sure. Nothing guaranteed in this. This is going to be a war, but you could see the openings. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Q Cardi. All right. Anything else you guys want to add into this mix? We've hit an hour and 4 minutes already in the show. getting it going. Comments have been great from all of you guys. Thorough, ready. I think everybody's just ready to get this thing going, right? I mean, that's where we're at now is playing them, getting it on, handling it, moving forward. That is the story. Tony, anything else you want to add into that mix before we do our moment here?
No. Well, Ox put up a comment, but nothing for me.
Ooh, he's calling goals. That's brave, Ox. I'll throw it up there. All right. He says, I see Bwanga scoring this match, calling it Bwanga, Vela, Bale, Chicho, Poku. What? I might even get one from Sir Stash himself. Dude, is this hockey? Or is this now hockey? That's a lot of goals, man. If we get one in this game, it's a big deal. If we get two, it's amazing, right? It's MLS playoffs. As long as we have more than them, that's all that matters.
But we want all the goals. We don't want this to go to a shootout.
Nope, not at all. I don't want it a 5-3 either, though. 5-0 will work for me. But yeah, giving up 3 would make me rather angry. No matter what, even if you have to win, like, come on, man. Yeah. So we'll see. I am optimistic, but cautiously optimistic. Tony's looking at me like always, right? Always with this stuff. So that's just me. That's how I'm built. You've been in it long enough. You know how this goes, especially with that side that we're playing, right? You measure your expectations. You hope your guys play their fundamentals. Keep it simple. Don't make stupid mistakes. And we move forward. So good stuff, Ox. Thank you, man. All right. So it is that moment. I am going to I know we're here. We got to the end of this one and we're ready to get ready for the game. Go get some work in tomorrow. Right, Tony? I know I'll be seeing you tomorrow as we prep for this. So I'll throw it to Araceli first. Your final comments today.
Final comments are simple. I mean, we can analyze this game from every direction, looking at past games, even the history of the playoffs. But as we all know, anything really can happen. This playoff picture alone, the first round, has already shown us that. So the reality is, you just need to go out there and win it to advance to the next round. Other than that, I mean, just kind of the same notes as we've been saying all season. Just want everybody to stay safe, whether if you're going to the game or you're going to a watch party. Be sure you have that backup plan. Call an Uber, call a friend, and just stay safe, guys. Please don't do anything ridiculous.
Essential. Go home, right? Be with your families when this is all said and done. We live to fight another day. Simple. And if you need help, ask for it. For all you guys. If you need help, ask for it. If you're in a situation at the stadium, you're not feeling all the way there, ask for help. We're all there for you. Do not hesitate. For sure. Tony, I'm going to hand this to you, sir. Your final comments in the lead up to the next edition of this battle.
Be safe out there. If you're going to the game, be safe. I usually don't I know where everyone parks, as in what to do in terms of that, but if you can get that extra cash and park in the parking structures, park around the stadiums to be safe, go in groups, don't leave anything like that. Because again, this does get ugly. It's shown multiple times. Drink responsibly. Don't overdrink, because just one little mistake like that is done for, especially in a game like this as well too, because again, everyone's in such high tension, high, they're just hyped up for the game and everything. So one little thing can change from a good thing to a bad thing. Uber, Lyft, taxi, whatever you got to do. Even if you have to have your friend take you home, do the same thing. It's like I said, get there early is the best way to say. Yeah, there will be things to do at Christmas Tree Lane, but get there early so that way you don't have to deal with traffic, you don't have to deal with anything, and that you're safe. And yeah, just be safe out there.
Ultimately, if you're taking the train, taking the metro, stay in numbers. If you see a bunch of LAFC fans, stick with them. That is the simplest thing to do. Don't get yourself isolated. Again, it's sad that we have to say things like this, but we know, right? It's just experience with these things. Is it's a rivalry match. People make dumb decisions. People make rash decisions. Don't get caught up in the nonsense and don't fall for it. Don't sucker yourselves out of an opportunity to see an amazing match or get stuck leaving one early, right? Be there, support this team, keep your heads in the right places. I think that's my biggest comments today is yes, keep your heads, support it fully, support it for the right reasons, represent this city with honor, represent this club. You're wearing black and gold for a reason. You join this side for a reason. Follow through. Show them who we are. Show them that we don't even need them to exist to thrive in this city. We don't. They need us more than we need them. We already know that. So don't fall for it, right? Don't let them drag you down. Keep it positive. Support your side. Be there early. I'll keep saying it. If you can prepay parking, like Tony said, do it. I just bought mine ahead of time because I know if you take it out on the street, there's risks you don't need to take in a rivalry match. Get there early. I know they're going to activate Christmas Tree Lane. There's going to be tailgates all day, I know, on a weekday. It's pretty wild. Go there. Have a good time. Be there early. Get in early. If you're in the north end or anywhere in the stadium, get in early. I'll say it a million times over. This is the one match you have to go in early. Obviously, it's going to be a sellout. We knew this already. It's what we do. But since it's a playoff game, there's stuff going on, and you don't want to miss it. It is going to be a very, very, very special day for us, even before the opening whistle. So do it right. Be there. Get us ready to go. And so when the north end fires off, the whole stadium will be ready to go as well. And we will be one giant family, community to push our side across the line and get to the next round. So be there. Do not miss it. Ultimately, guys, I'm beyond thankful for all you guys do to support us, to keep us going, to keep our community strong as it is. Shout out to FC. I know I missed your party. I will see you at the tailgate. Tony didn't miss it, but we know we all love you guys, man.
I know. I saw those posts. Jealous.
I'll just behind the curtain. I drank a little too much and ended up on the floor. The mezcal got me. I wish, right? Just lay next to the shield now. I drank the mezcal that they had out there was really strong, and it kind of knocked me out, not gonna lie. Got home safe and made sure, I took the precautions that I needed to do, but I was knocked out on the floor, and Philly and Jonathan had to pick me up and put me on the couch.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have a savior, it might as well be Philly and Jonathan. I mean, if you need someone to pick you up, those are kind of the guys you want. I'll throw you in there, Scarf too. Sam, the crew, Josh, come on, all these guys. Again, Pod Fam is amazing, and again, I'll see y'all on Thursday. I can make up for lost time since I couldn't be there on the weekend. But to the rest of you guys, if I see you in the stadium, say hi. Don't be a stranger. I love the conversation. You know that. Tony as well. You see him, say hi, man. We appreciate hearing the feedback from you guys. If we can do better, we want to do better. If you got ideas, throw them our way. To the rest of you guys, again, it's all love. And of course, before we leave the show, tradition dictates our final word of the day. I will begin with you, Araceli. Final word of the day.
Stay golden.
Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Ooh, and from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's get the win and move on. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.